triggered reality, mindset, motivation, money. Turn pressure into progress. You're running from yourself. In a world constantly pushing for the next adrenaline rush, the stories we tell ourselves become essential shields against our deeper fears. Young men often stand at the precipice, believing that the louder the noise, the more significant the achievement. Yet, in reality, true fulfillment lies not in the volume of the moment, but in the clarity of intention. What if, instead of making frantic sprints towards the nearest bright light, they paused, listened, and contemplated? What if the strength came not from exerting energy, but in channeling it purposefully? As men exhaust their reserves chasing excitement, they often find themselves asking the same questions, questions that loom larger than their desires. What truly matters? What brings lasting joy? And beneath those questions, the real inquiry emerges. Am I being genuine with myself, or merely playing a role? The societal narrative pushes them to act without clarity, to forge ahead without understanding the ground they tread upon. Amidst the clamour of expectations, young men must confront an unassailable truth. Action without intention often leads to a collection of fragmented stories rather than a cohesive life narrative. They must learn to filter the noise, recognizing that genuine progress is rooted in understanding both their desires and the stakes involved. Instead of merely racing towards the finish line, they should cultivate the courage to ask the hard questions and examine the motivations behind their pursuits. It's not enough to hustle under the guise of ambition. Real ambition requires a deeper connection to oneself and the world around. What if we rewrote the narrative around responsibility, viewing it not as a burden but rather as the foundation of true freedom? Imagine a life where each choice, each step taken is deliberate, rooted in a clear vision of who you are and who you aspire to be. Rather than fleeing from responsibilities, what if the young men of today embraced them? Embracing responsibility is what anchors you. It's the very act that transforms chaos into a rich tapestry of purpose. This reframing not only enhances personal growth, but also stimulates broader community connections, ultimately enriching the fabric of society itself. By shifting their focus from relentless pursuit to intentional living, young men can avoid the fatigue of chasing empty validations. They can discover the rewarding depth that comes with effort aligned to a higher calling, one that not only builds them up as individuals, but also uplifts those around them, showing that real success is measured by meaningful impact rather than fleeting applause. What if, instead of viewing slowing down as a sign of weakness, young men saw it as an opportunity for growth? They could begin to understand the world around them, dissecting their emotions and motivations with clarity, finding strength in vulnerability instead of fearing it. Each moment of reflection can become a tool, a means to refine their vision and intentions, allowing them to build a life that resonates deeply with their true selves. By embracing responsibility as their guiding star, these men hold the potential to ignite transformations not only within themselves, but also in their communities. In this journey of self-discovery, young men must learn to redefine their relationship with urgency. It is essential to realize that greatness doesn't spring from relentless motion, but from mindful choices. Those moments of stillness serve as a platform for growth, where wisdom can whisper answers that noise cannot convey. This is where true power blooms, blossoming from their willingness to pause and reflect. When they cultivate the strength to confront their inner turbulence, they transform chaos into clarity, which paves the path to authentic fulfillment. The rest of the world may shout for faster results, but they must become the calm in the storm, integrating responsibility into their actions and weaving their stories with intention. The essence of true progress lies not in a frantic race against time, but in a steady, determined approach that honors both the journey and the destination. As they begin to slow down, something remarkable happens. They start to see the beauty in the spaces between their thoughts. Each pause becomes a doorway to introspection, allowing them to understand their fears more intimately. They begin to embrace moments of stillness, realizing these are not voids, but fertile grounds for personal revelation. It's in this newfound clarity that young men can root their actions in purpose, turning their backs on shallow pursuits to engage with their authentic selves. True courage emerges from this place of sincerity, manifesting as a quiet strength that doesn't need to shout for attention. In recognizing the journey toward responsibility, young men uncover their true potential, transcending the superficial measures of success they once chased. It's not just about proving one's worth, it's about embracing the power of deliberate choices, weaving rich stories that reflect authenticity rather than mere spectacle. In this process, they learn to honor their limitations, accepting that every choice carries weight and consequence. Embracing this perspective reshapes their understanding of success, shifting the focus from temporary accolades to a sustainable sense of fulfillment. The realization settles in. Life isn't a race to be won, but rather a journey to be savored, with each step serving as a testament to their growth and wisdom. Young men begin to see their lives as a canvas where their actions, guided by intention, paint a legacy that resonates long after they are gone. Each decision, now mindful and profound, adds depth to their character, illustrating a narrative of resilience and empathy rather than one of hollow victories. With each deliberate choice, they cultivate patience, allowing their aspirations to align with their true selves. This newfound clarity empowers them to set goals that echo their core values, not the hollow ambitions dictated by society. As young men navigate their lives with intention, they create ripples of impact that extend beyond their immediate circles. Each interaction becomes significant, fostering connections that are rooted in authenticity rather than superficiality. No longer are they chasing empty validations. Instead, they invest in relationships and communities that nurture their growth and well-being. Together, they form a network of support that emphasizes understanding, acceptance, and shared responsibility. This collaboration becomes a catalyst for change, demonstrating how collective efforts can lead to profound societal advancements. Through this lens, they begin to appreciate the power of vulnerability, recognizing that sharing their struggles fosters a deeper bond with others. Instead of retreating into isolation, they step forward, cultivating resilience through their shared experiences. As they do so, they redefine masculinity, moving away from the archetype of the lone warrior and towards a more inclusive model of strength rooted in community and empathy. Each young man, by embracing his journey and the lessons it brings, contributes to a collective narrative that honors vulnerability as a strength and connection as a vital component of human experience. In this landscape of intentional living, they become beacons of hope and change, inspiring others to reconsider their paths and redefine what success truly means. They stand together on the precipice of transformation, embodying a newfound wisdom that prioritizes depth over superficiality. As they engage with their emotions, the conversations shift. Words once filled with bravado now carry layers of meaning. Sharing their stories becomes an act of courage, as they reveal their vulnerabilities and celebrate the strength that lies within those moments. This shift not only enriches their lives, but also inspires their peers to embark on similar journeys of self-discovery. United in their quest for authenticity, young men cultivate a culture where emotional honesty is cherished and each voice is valued. In doing so, they contribute to a collective awakening, where the noise of societal expectations fades, allowing the melody of genuine connection to resonate. These connections breathe life into their pursuits, uniting their ambitions with a deeper sense of purpose that transcends individual aspirations. Together, they embrace the idea that success is not a solitary achievement, but a reflection of shared experiences, values, and the impact they have on one another's lives. As they engage in this transformative journey, young men will find themselves reflecting on their past choices, reassessing what they once deemed important in their lives. Instead of viewing challenges as barriers, they learn to see them as opportunities for growth and connection, fostering a sense of resilience that will serve them well. With each introspective moment, they cultivate a clearer vision of their paths, discerning what truly resonates with their authentic selves. The questions that previously haunted them become stepping stones towards discovery, leading to richer dialogues filled with insights and shared wisdom. As they explore these conversations, they realize that vulnerability is an integral part of their strength, not a weakness to be hidden away. Embracing this truth fosters deeper connections, allowing them to share not only their successes, but also their struggles, creating a supportive environment where growth is celebrated. As they journey deeper into this newfound understanding, young men begin to appreciate the stories that are quietly etched into their lives by the choices they make. The realization dawns that the most profound impacts often occur in moments that may seem trivial. An encouraging word to a friend, the willingness to listen without judgment, or the courage to stand up for what is right. These seemingly small acts accumulate, building a rich tapestry of connections that empower both themselves and those around them. Through these experiences, they find that genuine success reflects the collective growth they inspire rather than individual accolades. Embracing this holistic perspective fosters a sense of belonging and purpose, enabling them to thrive in a world that often emphasizes competition over collaboration. As they begin to weave these lessons into their lives, young men realize that the path to authenticity is often paved with uncomfortable conversations. They must confront the feelings that lay beneath the surface, acknowledging not only their hopes and dreams, but also their fears and insecurities. This courageous introspection serves as a catalyst for bridging the gap between how they perceive themselves and how they wish to be seen. Through this process, they cultivate a more profound understanding of their own narratives, allowing them to embrace the complexities of their emotions. Each honest exchange fosters an environment where growth flourishes, proving that vulnerability can lead to deeper relationships and a more resilient community. By championing the courage to speak their truths, they inspire others to do the same, challenging the traditional norms of masculinity that often discourage open dialogue. These shared revelations create a ripple effect, enveloping their circles in a sense of camaraderie and collective empowerment. Together, they lay the groundwork for a new era of men who redefine what it means to be strong, a strength that lies not in stoicism, but in authenticity and connection. As they embrace a holistic view of their journeys, young men start to recognize the power of shared narratives. Conversations shift from small talk to profound exchanges filled with personal growth, illuminating paths that were once obscured by fear. They begin to appreciate that these dialogues can break barriers, fostering a sense of unity, where each voice contributes to a rich tapestry of understanding. In this evolving landscape, young men become more attuned to the stories they tell themselves and others. They discover that by harnessing their experiences, they create a collective identity that reflects inclusivity and shared growth. Ultimately, as young men embrace their vulnerabilities and share their authentic narratives, they cultivate a legacy steeped in empathy and interconnectedness, proving that true strength is measured not by accolades, but by the depth of their contributions to one another's lives. In this journey, they redefine success, illuminating the profound impact of intentional living.